girl like this. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Number 10. Hound Dog Attack. Dancing with the Stars. Michael Bolton is a singer who has a sense of humor and isn't afraid to poke fun at himself. He even made jokes about his dance skills in Michael Bolton's big, sexy Valentine's Day special.
You've got to hit that spin, Michael.
I'm trying.
You're not trying hard enough.
However, when Dancing with the Stars judge Bruno Tonioli ripped Bolton's hound dog jive routine to shreds, he was not amused.
Michael, I am a dog lover, but you make it so hard for me. You should have kept that bone and gone back into the doghouse.
The comments were all negative and lacked any kind of constructive feedback. Pretty much everyone, including head judge Len Goodman, agreed that the critiques were inappropriate and mean.
You did it all very, very, very badly. I think this is probably the worst jive in 11 seasons.
No, that's not true. That's unkind
For me.
and unfair.
Well, I hated it.
Well, OK, you hated it, but you should keep some of the comments to yourself, really, because that is unfair.
The star himself felt an apology was in order. After all, there's judging fairly and respectfully, and then there's whatever this was. Number 9. Not following the rules. So you think you can dance. Matthew Morrison rose to fame as the music-loving teacher Will Schuester on the hit show Glee. He's done plenty of dancing there and throughout his Broadway career. So it wasn't a surprise when he was announced as a judge for season 17 of So You Think You Can Dance.
Are you going to be the guy that just says nice things, finds the good in everything?
No, definitely not the latter. I'm going to be the honest judge.
It was a huge shock, however, when articles revealing that he'd been let go surfaced. It was ultimately revealed that he was fired from the show for messaging a female contestant. The dancer reported the communication to producers because it made her feel uncomfortable.
Hey, it's Matthew. If you don't mind, would love to get your number and talk you through some things. The end.
Morrison claimed that his message was just friendly and in no way inappropriate.
Gossip rules and people's lives are being thrown around as clickbait.
Regardless, his behavior violated show protocols. Number 8. Early Elimination. Top Chef.
I know I can slice and dice better than most of these people.
Tom Colicchio is no stranger to badly prepared meals. As the head judge on the Top Chef cooking competition, he's had to deal with many disgusting dishes. Usually, contestants get a chance to demonstrate their culinary skills at least once, though. But Tyler Stone was cut from the first episode of season 9 before he even had a chance to cook.
What do you need?
The tenderloin.
I don't see a tenderloin.
The personal chef from Sacramento struggled to butcher some pork.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Wrestling with this thing, huh?
Yeah, it's a large piece of meat, and I don't usually butcher whole pieces like this.
After reviewing the cuts, Colicchio asked him to pack his things and leave. Stone believed the judges should have given him more of a chance to compete and waited for the dish to be fully prepared before they decided his fate.
There's no way that this is going to get through this round. And I think you should just leave now.
Give me a shot. You'd be surprised.
I'm telling you.
Needless to say, the elimination surprised everyone and proved that Colicchio wasn't messing around.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry.
So I'm done?
Yeah. Pack up your knives and you can go, okay?
Fair enough.
Number 7. A Scary Storm. America's Got Talent. Simon Cowell is known for being a judge that speaks his mind.
I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel that heat with somebody.
He usually doesn't concern himself with other people's reactions.
I think you're possibly the worst singer in the world, based on that performance.
This might be why he frequently gets water dumped on his head by fellow judges.
Do you think he needs a reality check?
I think you do, actually.
I bloody think you do, and I think I'm going to give it to you right now.
On one episode of America's Got Talent, Cowell took his comments too far and sparked an extreme reaction from Mel B. When he made a rude comment about her wedding night, Scary Spice decided not to ignore it or pretend it was funny. Instead, she threw her water in his face and exited the set.
How does this make you feel right now?
Well, I'm kind of imagining this would be like Mel B's wedding night. A lot of
Since she was in the middle of a divorce at the time, Cowell should have been more considerate with his quips. Number 6. Too many divas on the panel. American Idol. The feud between American Idol judges Mariah Carey and Nicki Minaj made headlines during their single season on the panel. These two divas butted heads on more than one occasion, and definitely appeared to rub each other the wrong way on set.
Thank you, Johnny Five.
What
Carrie,
I think is...
I was about... See? You are so beat out to cut the kid.
Y'all were thinking the same thought.
By the Chicago auditions, they didn't even seem to be pretending to get along. Their patience with each other was clearly running out, as they began talking over each other when Carrie interrupted her co-judge.
No, I was about to say Carrie.
Oh, and I was about to say, beep.
When Minaj thanked her for a comment and started her own, Carrie replied with this.
Thank you, Carrie.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Carrie.
Name I won't say in case there's little kids watching the show.
Despite the smiles, it was a spat that made for a pretty poor showing in front of a talented auditioner.
You're dismissed. So, Johnny 5.
Such a sweet girl.
Number 5, Harsh Simile, the Great British Baking Show.
Bakers, it's that time again. It's the technical challenge.
The technical bakes on the Great British Baking Show are always fraught with difficulty.
Well, it's quite different to yours, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Contestants are given a complicated project with very few instructions, and Judge Paul Hollywood rarely holds back with his comments. Sometimes it crosses the line from amusing to just plain cruel.
So what's happened with the icing?
I can't make it. I mean, I was getting the hump now.
Don't get the hump, you're brilliant.
It just won't go right.
In this episode, the competitors were challenged to make a Victorian-era fruitcake decorated to look like a tennis court. Matt Riley struggled at every turn.
We're supposed to put it.
I don't know.
Ultimately, he ended up with a melted net and decorations that looked more like flames than flowers. The final product prompted Hollywood to make a rather hellish comparison. Talk about a harsh way to put it.
Moving on to number 3. This looks like a tennis court from Hades.
There's no need to kick a friendly bloke when he's down. Number 4, Len Goodman loses it. Dancing with the Stars. Kelly Pickler and Derek Huff ended season 16 of this long-running dance competition with the Mirror Ball trophy. However, one of their showings was met with over-the-top criticism. Their Paso Doble with Tristan McManus resulted in showers of praise from judges Carrie Ann Inaba and Bruno Tognoli.
That was masterpiece theater!
Len Goodman, however, saw things differently, and he made his opinion crystal clear, not mincing words at all.
I was expecting more than flashing lights and crashing music. It was a hodgepodge of moves just out there to titillate the taste buds.
The other judges' disagreement and the audience's boos seemed to set him off even more. He yelled and pointed accusingly at the choreographers, blaming them for the atrocity.
I can't believe it! This girl is so talented! I don't want to see flashing lights, crashing music. I wanted a Paso Doble.
Eventually, co-host Tom Bergeron sent the dancers off. That was definitely the right call.
Why don't you go up there where it's safer and everybody's on their meds and...
Number 3, RuPaul versus H&M, RuPaul's Drag Race UK. Production of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Series 2 was paused for 7 months due to COVID-19. However, Joe Black probably wishes she had stayed in lockdown after this outburst.
But you came out wearing a finger wave wig and something I probably could have bought off the rack at Primark, no joke. There you go.
In the first episode filmed once production resumed, the judges criticized Joe for wearing a dress off the rack.
We're looking for Great Britain's next superstar. Don't waste my time. I don't want to see any f***ing H&M.
This comment was seen as tone-deaf by many. Firstly, Drag Race has been accused of rewarding the queens who spend the most money on the competition. What's more, many queens had lost their sources of income during the pandemic, so shopping at stores like H&M was a necessity. However, others defended the reality judge and host, explaining that creativity costs nothing, and Joe's outfit was not creative.
If it is from H&M, you better glitter the f*** out of it and make it something special.
Either way, Joe Black went home that week.
Sashay away.
But on the upside, she did receive a cheeky gift from H&M. Number 2, Tyras Tyraade, America's Next Top Model. Although it's been years since the model competition first aired, it's still getting criticism for the way the contestants were treated.
Tonight. Both of you will pack your bags.
One prime example is when host, judge, and creator Tyra Banks reprimanded contestant Tiffany Richardson.
Oh, girl, you gotta stop.
Banks expressed her disappointment that the eliminated model was not showing more emotion as she said goodbye to the other competitors.
And you go over there and you joke and you laugh. This is serious to these girls. And this should be serious to you.
Looks can be deceiving. I'm hurt. I am.
She felt Richardson wasn't taking the show seriously.
I'm sick of being disappointed,
Yeah,
Tiffany.
obviously I am.
No, you're not. If you were sick of being disappointed, you would stand up and you would take control of your destiny.
Her tirade soon became far more intense and personal than necessary, though, and the moment has since become infamous.
Be quiet,
but
Tiffany.
everybody,
Be
no,
quiet!
that's what is
I'm
wrong
not
with
trying to
you.
act, but you're not.
Stop
it!
This inappropriate rant occurred simply because the contestant tried to put on a cheerful demeanor instead of crying like she was supposed to, which is completely nonsensical.
I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Number 1. Fashion temper tantrum. Making the cut.
When I think of festival, I think of summer and not wearing a lot of clothes.
When a fashion designer has limited time to make a runway garment, it's not always going to be great. Even the most talented ones disappoint the judges occasionally. On a show like Making the Cut, some harsh criticism is par for the course.
Left us with nothing. So yes, I'm pissed off. It's frustrating.
The fans were baffled, however, by Judge Jeremy Scott's behavior during one particular post-runway talkback. He felt like all of the accessible looks were terrible and harshly reprimanded every designer.
All the accessible look was shit. It was unrealistic or not well made. It was awful.
Scott escalated the situation by screaming out and violently chucking his notebook to the floor.
You want to know what I wrote in my book about these looks? Nothing! Nothing!
It was clear that basically everyone in the room felt uncomfortable at this extreme reaction.
You're making the cut.
Thank you.
But don't do it again.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.